Hi student, how are you? I think all of you are well. Again another lecture. Today we will discuss some new topic related to semiconductor and its characteristics. Okay, in my previous lecture already I have discussed about intrinsic semiconductor, extrinsic semiconductor and some special characteristics of semiconductor when temperature is increased. Okay, and what is the position of Fermi level in case of n-type semiconductor, p-type semiconductor and intrinsic semiconductor. Okay, I think all of you have read out this. Okay, if not then please go through the previous lecture. Okay, because the concept of previous lecture is required to understand today's topic. Okay, so today our topics is some electrical properties of semiconductor. Now electrical properties means here we have to common word, that is one is drift velocity and another is diffusion. Okay, you heard previously you heard about this drift velocity and diffusion. I think yes, because in your 12th class physics already there are some topic related to your drift velocity and diffusion. Again I will discuss this briefly. Okay, now what exactly drift velocity? Basically drift velocity means the average velocity attained by some charged particles, example electron, in a material due to an electric field. You can see here it is written, but the writing is quite light, so just remember that drift velocity means the average velocity attained by charged particles, example electron, in a material due to an electric field. Now what does it means? Actually this means suppose you are applying some electric field, where you are applying some electric field to a atom or a crystal, then what happens? There are some particles inside the atom, so the particles will try to move from one position to another position when they are forcefully applied some electric field. Okay, that means there is a movement. Now if there is a movement, then obviously there will be some velocity, and that particular velocity is known as drift velocity. That means when you apply some electric field, then particles will try to move from one position to another position, and this movement, due to this movement there will exist some velocity, and that velocity is known as drift velocity, nothing else. Okay, mathematically this drift velocity is proportional to the applied electric field, and it is written as V, capital V suffix D, Vd proportional to E. That means applied electric field is directly proportional to the drift velocity. Again from mathematical concept you can write this like Vd is equal to mu into E. Now what is mu? Mu is basically proportionality constant, and again this mu is also known as mobility of the carrier. That means if you are asked that what is mobility of a carrier, so your answer will be mobility means drift velocity what? So if you are asked what is mobility, so your answer will be mobility mu is equal to drift velocity divided by applied electric field from this expression. Okay, that means part applied electric field, what is the drift velocity? That denotes mobility of the carrier. Okay, now tell me what is the unit of this velocity? We all know velocity means meter square per second, meter square per second. Okay, now what is the unit of electric field? Normally the unit of electric field is noted as voltage or volt. Okay, that means what will be the unit of this mobility? So the unit of this mobility will be meter square divided by volt into second, isn't it? See, the unit of mobility is meter square divided by volt into second. Again it is also written as meter square into volt inverse second inverse. Okay, so this is all about drift velocity and mobility. Now we will do some derivation from this expression, and at last we will derive an expression which is used to solve the numerical problems related to this drift velocity. Here you have a solenoid. Now you consider that for this solenoid, capital A is its cross sectional area, and capital L is the length of this solenoid, and V is the electric voltage. Now if a voltage V is applied across the semiconductor of length L, okay, and its cross sectional area is capital L, then according to mathematical concept you can say the applied electric field is equal to what? The applied electric field is equal to the voltage which is applied over the length. That means capital E is equal to voltage divided by length. See, capital E, which is electric field, is equal to applied voltage divided by the length, that means L. Okay. Also we are assuming that there are capital N number of carriers within the crystal. So here we are assuming for derivation that we have capital N number of carriers. Okay, carriers means it may be electron or it may be holes, but here we are assuming that we have capital N number of carriers within the crystal. Now each having charge Q, and each carrier has charge small q. So if a carrier takes time capital T to cross length L, that means here I want to say that we have capital N number of carrier and each carrier has small q amount of charge, and if each carrier takes capital T time to cross this position to this position, that means to cross this overall length L, then the time which is required to cross this direction capital T is equal to what? Capital T is equal to length by Vt. Okay, so the time which is required for the carriers to move from this position to this position, that is equal to capital T is equal to length divided by drift velocity. Okay, and the current in ampere, passing through the cross section, I is equal to what? I is equal to total charge divided by time. Okay, so total charge divided by time. Now what is your total charge? Now if you have capital N number, listen carefully, if you have capital N number of carrier and each carrier has Q charge, that means total charge is equal to what? Total charge is equal to N into Q. Again, current through this cross sectional area capital I is equal to total charge divided by time, total time. So I can be written as capital N into Q divided by T. Again, from this expression we have shown that capital T is equal to length by drift velocity. That means here it can be written as NQ into Vd by L. Just putting the value of capital T here, and you get the current through this cross section is equal to capital N into Q into Vd divided by L. Again I am saying here the current through this cross section capital I is equal to total charge into drift velocity divided by total length. Okay, now what is the current density? We all know the definition of current density is current passing through the cross sectional area. That means current density J is equal to total current I divided by cross sectional area, which is noted here as capital A. That means current density J is equal to I by A. So again put the value of I here, so you get current density J is equal to NQVD divided by L into what? L into A. Okay. Now again this can be minimized as, this expression can be minimized as, that means N by LA. N, what is N? N is total number of carrier. N is total number of carrier. Q is charge, Vd is drift velocity, L is the length, and A is the cross sectional area. So this N by LA, just see this N by LA, that means this N by LA, this is not shown here, so just minimize. So okay, this N, this N by LA, this N, capital N by LA, again assume another variable, say small n is equal to capital N by LA. So what is capital N? So again it is written here, small n is equal to capital N by LA, carrier concentration per unit volume. How can you say this? See, length into cross sectional area, that means what? You are multiplying length with area, so what you get volume. Okay, now what is N? Area is capital N is number of carriers, that means number of carriers divided by volume, that means per volume how many carriers you have. Listen carefully, again I am saying number of carriers, number of charge carriers, how many number of charge carriers you have per volume, that is known as what? Carrier concentration. So if you are asked that what do you mean by carrier concentration, so your answer will be carrier concentration means number of charge carriers per unit volume, that is known as carrier concentration. Okay, so now if you put this value small in here, so your expression, that is current density, will be is equal to what? Carrier concentration into charge of each carrier into drift velocity. Okay, again drift velocity Vd is equal to what? From this expression, drift velocity Vd is equal to mu into E. Now if you put this value Vd here, so you get the current density J is equal to NQ mu into E. Okay, so N is, again I am saying, carrier concentration per unit volume, Q is charge of each carrier, mu is mobility of the carrier, and capital E is the applied electric field. Again this expression can be minimized as, or this can be written as capital J is equal to sigma into E. Now what is sigma? Basically here sigma is the conductivity of the semiconductor. So what is sigma? Sigma is equal to conductivity of the semiconductor. Now from this mathematical expression, what is the value of sigma? Sigma is equal to carrier concentration per unit volume into charge of each carrier into mobility. That means if you multiply carrier concentration per unit volume with each charge of the carrier with mobility, then you get conductivity of the semiconductor, and unit of this conductivity is ohm into meter inverse. Okay, that means 1 by ohm into meter, 1 by ohm into meter, and this is the unit of conductivity. So which type of questions you may ask? That means from mathematical, suppose you are given one mathematical problem and where you are asked calculate the conductivity of the semiconductor, calculate the mobility of the semiconductor, calculate the current density of the semiconductor, calculate the current through the semiconductor, and just like this. That means you have to remember and practice this derivation carefully. Find it? So not just go through this, you have to remember this, all the steps of this derivation. That means what is the exact expression of this current density. Okay, now what is capital N? We all know capital N where the number of carriers, and what is N? Here small n is the carrier concentration per unit volume. Okay, now for N-type semiconductor, what is the majority carrier? For N-type semiconductor, electrons are the majority carrier, and for P-type semiconductor, what is the majority carrier? Holes are the majority carrier. That means if you are asked to calculate the current density for N-type semiconductor or P-type semiconductor, then your expression will be Jn. That means this is the normal expression of current density for semiconductor. Now if you are asked to calculate the current density for N-type semiconductor, then it will be written as Jn. Jn is equal to N into Q, That means here N is what? Carrier concentration, same. Q is charge and this is mu. That means mu mobility may be two types. One mobility may be for electron and another mobility for holes. That means if you are asked to calculate the current density, then your mu will be replaced by mu n, and this mu n is the mobility of the electron, or mobility of the, you can say, n-type semiconductor. So it can be written as Jn is equal to n q mu n e. Okay, and what is n? N is the carrier concentration per unit volume for n-type semiconductor. Now for p-type semiconductor, what will be your expression? Your expression will be Jp. That means just you have to change the variable, nothing else. So Jp denotes the current density for p-type semiconductor. So Jp is equal to what? Carrier concentration per unit volume for hole, and this is noted as P, small p. N is here noted as carrier concentration for n-type semiconductor, and P is noted as carrier concentration for p-type semiconductor. And as we know that for p-type semiconductor, holes are the majority carrier. That's why here small p is taken as a variable. So Jp is equal to P into Q, and it will be mobility for what? Mobility for p-type. That's why it is written as mu p into electric field. So next, if I am asking you that what is the total conductivity of the semiconductor, so your total conductivity of the semiconductor will be what? Total conductivity of the semiconductor will be your conductivity due to electron or your conductivity due to hole. And what is the expression of conductivity? N q into mu. So it will be N q into mu n. This one is for what? This one is for n-type, and p q mu p, this one is for p-type. Okay, so this is the expression of total conductivity for n-type and p-type semiconductor. And the inverse of this conductivity is known as what? The inverse of this conductivity is known as resistivity, and this is written as rho. Rho is equal to 1 by what? 1 by sigma. Okay. So what is the unit of resistivity? Ohm. Okay. So if resistivity increases, that means, see, you can see this conductivity and resistivity is inversely proportional to each other. That means if conductivity increases, that means resistivity decreases. If conductivity decreases, that means resistivity increases. That's why it is known as resistivity and conductivity is proportionally constant to each other. Next, come to the next topic, that is diffusion. What do you mean by diffusion? Another topic. So diffusion means, suppose just first of all I will give an example. Suppose you have some sugar. Okay, you have 2 table sugar, and you have a cup, and you have some water. Now what happens? You are asked to mix this sugar with this water. So what you have to do? You have to just pour the water into your cup or glass. After that you have to add some sugar. Now when you put the sugar, at that moment, if you taste your sugar water, so what is the taste? That means light sweet. Now if you mix it well through a spoon, then what will happen? It will be spread out through the water, and after that when you again taste it, it will be a sweet water. Okay, that means what happened here? That means the particles of sugar will try to spread out the overall water equally. Okay, that means in case of diffusion, what happens? So if there is a variation in concentration, okay, then always the higher concentration will try to move the lower concentration, so that there will be a uniform concentration throughout the area. And this is the basic concept behind diffusion. Okay, so if the concentration of carriers varies with distance x, in a semiconductor, concentration gradient, that means dN by dx in a carrier density occurs, and the diffusion current density is given by JD, okay, is equal to Q into D dN by dx. This dN by dx is concentration gradient, Q is the charge of the particle, okay, and here D is known as diffusion constant, okay. So here you can say in a semiconductor, in the absence of electric field, where there is a concentration gradient of carriers, the carriers tend to move from higher concentration region to lower concentration region to destroy the non-uniformity of the concentration. That means they want uniform concentration. That means they always try to reach a area where the concentration is equal, okay. And this type of motion rise to a current. That means when there is a there exists this type of phenomena, so obviously there will be some movement, and if electron moves, that means automatically conductivity increases, and conductivity increases means there we have some current, and this type of motion in this way rises the current, and this is known as diffusion current, okay. See, in the equation D, capital D, so which equation? This equation, and JD is the diffusion current density. Just remember this capital J suffix D, this is diffusion current density, and this is equal to Q. Q is the charge of the carrier, D is the diffusion constant, and D smaller by dx, this is concentration gradient. This is concentration gradient means like this. Suppose you have a region like this, okay. So this is upper region and this is lower region. So concentration gradient means always carriers will try to move from higher concentration to lower concentration, and this gradient is known as dN by dx here. So we have shown here that JD, and now this diffusion current density may be for electron as well as for hole. So there again we have two expression, one is for N type, another is for P type, or you can say one is for electron and one is majority carrier electron, and another is for majority carrier holes. So when this is for electron, so this is noted as Jn. So in diffusion current density for N type semiconductor, so it will be Q dN. So what is D? D is diffusion constant, dN, capital dN into dN by dx. For electron, this diffusion constant dN can be again written as kBt by Q into mu n. Now what is kBt divided by Q into mu n? What is the mu? Mu is the mobility. Already I have shown you what is mu. Mu stands for mobility, okay. So mu n is for mobility for N type semiconductor. And what is Q? This Q stands for charge of the carrier. What is Kb? This Kb means Boltzmann constant. Again I am saying this Kb means Boltzmann constant. Can you remember what is the value of this Boltzmann constant? These are not new thing, already you know, okay. These are very common. So just in my next class I will give you some assignment where you have to say what do you mean by Kb, and if you forget so just remember what is the value of Kb, what is the value of Boltzmann constant, and what is capital T? T is temperature in degree Kelvin. So again come to the next part, that means diffusion current density for P type. So this notation will be written as capital J suffix P, because P stands for majority carrier hole, or for P type. So Jp is equal to minus Q dP dP by dx. Now one thing, why it is written as minus Q? Can you tell me why it is written as minus Q? Why? Just think why it is noted as minus q. Basically, the expression of current density has a negative sign. Okay, now for electron, we all know electron means negative charge. That means already we have a negative sign here, so negative, negative, plus. And for hole means we know positive charge. That means already in the expression of this current density have negative sign, so positive charge into your negative sign, that means it will become negative. That's why it is written as negative here for holes. And as because the charge of electron is negative charge, so automatically negative negative it becomes positive. So Jp is equal to minus q dp. Again dp is the diffusion constant for p type, and this is this concentration gradient for p type is known as what? Dp by dx. And concentration gradient for n type is dn by dx, and for p type it will be what? Dp by dx. Okay, and this value of this diffusion constant for p type dp is equal to kBt q into mu p. That means same expression, just variables are different. Okay, so this is all about diffusion current. Now come to one numerical. Here I have solved a numerical related to this drift and diffusion. Just one example, you go through this, and after this class I will give you some assignment where you have to solve some numerical problem, that means related to drift and diffusion. So student, please go through this lecture very carefully, and this is very very important for your exam also. Okay, so what is the question that suppose if the intrinsic carrier concentration. So first, when you face some numerical problem related to drift, diffusion, or any kind of material, first check what values are given to you. Don't try to solve it first. First check what values are given to you. That means which values are known to you. After that, think which formula you have to apply here. Okay. Next, try for solution. Okay. So here the question says, if the intrinsic carrier concentration of a semiconductor at 300 Kelvin is this, and the mobilities are these and these, that means mobilities are these and these, means obviously one is for electron and another is for holes. For the two different types of carriers, see, that means normally basically we assume that electrons are first, after that holes. Okay, so mobilities are these. So calculate the conductivity due to holes and electrons separately. That means here mobilities are given to you. Okay, now for intrinsic semiconductor, again we know n is equal to p is equal to ni. That means hole mobility is less than electron mobility. Again we know hole mobility is less than electron mobility. So hole conductivity. So what is the what you have to solve here? You have to calculate what? Conductivity. Calculate the conductivity due to holes and electrons. Now first tell me what is the expression of conductivity. Go through the lecture. Conductivity, here I have shown you what is conductivity. See, conductivity, expression of conductivity is NQ into mu. This is general expression. For N type it will be just mu N, and for P type it will be just mu P. So mu, what is the expression? That is conductivity means NQ mu. NQ mu. Now come to the numerical. So whole conductivity. So whole conductivity. Achha, first come to electron conductivity. Okay, electron conductivity means NQ mu is the general expression, so it will be NQ mu N. N, what is the value of N? N is what? N is carrier concentration. Okay, already this is given to you. See, if the intrinsic carrier concentration of semiconductor, that means the value of N is 2.5 into 10 to the power 19. So this one. Okay, charge, what is the value of Q? The charge value is always fixed, and it is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. And what is mu N? Okay, what is mu N? Here actually this 0.18, okay, this 0.38 is stands for holes, and this this 0.38 is stands for electron, and this 0.18 is stands for hole. So when you are given such type of problem, if which one is hole and which one is for electron, this is not given to you. Again, listen carefully. If this type of problems are given to you, where you are given two types of mobilities, but this is not given to you that which one is for holes and which one is for electron, by default assume that first one is for electron and second one is for holes. Got my point? So here first one is what? 0.38 mobilities. So that's why this will be for electron. So just that's why I am written here 0.38 for electron. So just calculate this and you will get this is the value, and put down the unit of this conductivity. Now again your second question is calculate the conductivity for holes. Okay. So calculate the conductivity of holes. Again same formula. So it will be written as PQ mu P. So write down the concentration, it is 2.5 same, and this Q and 0.18, this one, that means mobility. Okay. Also just remember this point, hole mobility is always less than the electron mobility. Okay, you can also remember if this point, that means if you are given two types of mobilities and you are thinking that what you are assuming that will be right or wrong. So just just remember this point, that always hole mobility is less than electron mobility. Okay. So like this you can solve this type of numerical problem. Just this is one kind of example where I have shown you that what is the purpose for this derivation. Okay, so if you don't know this derivation, you cannot solve this type of numerical problem. Okay. So I will give you some numerical problem as an assignment. So student, try to solve this, and if you face any difficulties, so again I am saying please let me know. I will try to solve out your problem. One thing, you have one question. So now from first lecture to this lecture, we have studied about various characteristics of semiconductor electrical characteristics. Now tell me actually where we can use this semiconductor, what exactly the application of semiconductor. Okay, so think and give me the answer. What is the application in modern days, that means in modern industry or modern daily life application where you can use semiconductor? There are lots of examples, so I want that all of you know the applications of semiconductor and let me know what are these. Okay. Okay, for today's class is over, so just go through this lecture. Okay student.